Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to episode 21 of the Tech Meet podcast.
There you go.
Where Black excellence and tech meet. I am Janita.
I'm Charles.
Ricks.
And we're back. The trio is back together. Welcome back, Charles.
Back.
Yeah.
We're back together.
Our brother is here.
All right. Well, I kind of want to hop in today because we had a little precursor of a question that was asked. So, the hot topic nowadays, especially for people who have been fortunate enough to make it this long with maintaining any remote status.
Me.
How much money would it take for you to decide to go back to 2019, aka going in the office every single day? Or what are the stipulations? Maybe it's not even how much. Maybe it's a perk. Maybe it's something else.
That's going to be a tough question for me because I've never been in the office every day.
Ever?
Ever. No.
Since when?
I mean,
he been consulting.
I was traveling or I was at home working, so I was never in the office every day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so even when we went to COVID back in 2020,
Yeah.
I was maybe in the office twice a week. I literally came to this company because I wasn't in the office every single day or having to travel so much. So I got my freedom back in 2020. So for me, it's always been a little different anyway. So I've always kind of felt bad for people who had to drive in traffic every single day here. And it's like, I'm at home on a Friday or a Monday.
Right.
So, but to say how much it would take to go back in the office every single day.
Or I guess for you to go into an office.
I know that's worse for you because you've never been in the office.
Yeah, I was about to say, so do you even really kind of grasp what that is like going in every day?
I'm productive on the days I go.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because I see the people only, let's say once a week or twice a week, and we're about to go back probably 3 days a week, is catch up on conversations, but also too, because of my role now being so high up, I have a global role. So I'm talking to people in, India early mornings or talking to people in APAC or Asia or Australia at 10 o'clock. So I'm like, that's a lot of time that's covering a day span. So I need my time to all kind of like be productive throughout the day. So driving an hour to and from work without traffic is kind of like non-invasive for me. So
answer the question. Because I got my answer. I've been waiting.
Actually, I would say I'm good where I'm at salary-wise. Going in the office 5 days a week. I'm okay with that.
You wouldn't request any additional?
It doesn't bother me.
Charles Jones.
It doesn't bother me.
Wow. I'm surprised by the answer.
Me too.
It wouldn't bother me. I'm good where I'm at. I ain't gonna hold you.
Double.
Because I'm remote now. And I want the munchies if I'm going back into the office. I'm sorry.
Okay. What do you use to justify that?
Right. what value do you bring twice to double to see you every day?
Now, at my current company, they probably wouldn't pay me double to come in the office. But if I'm leaving, I'm bringing the value that I have in my experience, right? I mean, if you're hiring me in a lateral role, now I have to do more work to work for you. I have to drive to the office. So depending on where the office is, that's a commute. That's time out of my day. Time is valuable. We said the last episode. Time was. So now I'm in 2 hours of commuting that I'm not working. I could be working at home for those 2 hours, right? I got to pay for lunch. That's another added expense. I think I saw the stat was like $6,000 more remote versus in office for commuting and just lunch a year. $6,000 more a year, $500 a month.
And that equates to double your salary.
Yeah, at an executive level with almost 20 years of experience. Yep, because the people who are in the office at my level are making that amount.
So I have two things for you because a couple episodes ago, I challenged y'all on, again, now I'm agreeing with you guys when y'all said that Americans are privileged. Was that what it was?
Oh,
that's final.
We didn't get to talk about that. I mean, I'm sorry. I hope y'all are still listening, but it made me cackle because my immediate thought, and it's no shade to any of y'all, take anything as you will. But one of the biggest lessons I learned is if somebody says something that's not directed to you, but you take it personally, you might need to take another look at yourself. So for anybody who thought I was calling you entitled, that might be sitting on your spirit somewhere.
Yep. I say hit dogs on holler.
Listen, because it was a very generalized statement.
Even the caption says some Americans.
Some.
Right.
Some. But anyway.
But going back to that point, because, again, this whole hybrid approach just came into existence, 5 years ago. So people have been working on something for a very long time. And some people have been in office even through COVID. They were still going to the office.
That's true.
At some point. So to ask for double, I get what you're saying as far as you're losing your time, but again, you have a responsibility and obligation to that job that you signed that contract for.
Man, F that company. They better pay me for my time.
One thing I will say, so like pivot to bring us right back to what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
I saw this guy who was speaking, and I wish I knew who he was. He was talking about the work ethic of Gen Z and how a lot of people think that they're entitled in their approach of the workforce. And he says, see, the difference, though, is Gen X and boomers, they had a mutual loyalty between the company and the people. The company said, you have loyalty to me, we'll give you pensions. We'll make sure that we match your 401k. We'll give you adequate equity in this company once you hit a certain threshold. The millennials came around and companies said, you be loyal to us. You ain't getting no pension. We ain't matching no 401k. We'll give you unlimited PTO that is
we can fire you
a
whenever
psychological
we want to.
warfare.
Employment at will.
We'll give you free lunch, whatever. And so then Gen Z looked up and said, hey, millennials, all y'all complaining about being underpaid and overworked and these companies don't care about you laying off people every week. I want to get paid just for showing up. And it was a very different approach. So with that same sentiment, what I can say, though, is I agree with the thought of like, forget the company because they're not overly indexed on anybody. You know what I mean? Like anybody can get it. And so in that same lane, if I can get 6 months of double my salary.
Right. Now that's what I'm asking for. I might not get it. But we go shoot for the stars, man. Shoot for the stars, right? So I'm going to ask for double. They might come back and say, we'll give you, half of that. All right, I'm still.
So what I challenge people all the time and going back to, even college days is put yourself on a resume when you're dating. What does your resume say about you? Is your resume going to get you that top paying job? Is it going to get you somebody, at the curb store around the corner, right? So again, now if you're producing double your salary by coming to the office, I want to see that being produced in the office.
I will be.
So what would that mean?
I would be more productive in the 8 hours a day that I'm in the office because now, since I'm remote, I can work as I please. They're going to require me to be in the office and possibly work outside of the office on their time. I got to come in the office between 9 to 5, 8 to 4, whatever it is. I got to come in at that time versus I kind of get up when I want. Yes, I got to be online at a certain time, but like if I want to go take a couple hours off for lunch, I can go do that, but I can work later.
See, I actually think I'm more productive at home versus going into the office.
I'm way more productive.
I think it depends on what you view as productivity and your role. For instance, I have to work remote. My entire team is in London, LA, and one person is up the street from me, but whatever. And so it's like I have to work remote, and almost every day I wish I was in London because for me and my role, I would actually be able to get more done, not just because of time zone, but also when you're in front of people, you can make decisions quicker. You can push things forward. And I think it is also because it's a smaller company. At a larger company, there definitely are more distractions. And especially like when I was at my last corporate role, I hated going into the office, not because of the commute, not because of anything else, but because then people thought that they could use my time. So if I was at a desk trying to do some work, then that was, Janita's available because she's not in a meeting room. And that was actually way more distracting because when I was at home, no one could walk up to me and even just simple things of like, how was your weekend? Or following up on a conversation where I'm like, I don't want to be an asshole, but it's like, I don't want to talk to you right now, not because of you, but because I really need to get this done because I only have 30 minutes before my meeting. Or the other thing for me was I had maybe 2 people in the Atlanta office and all of my other people were global. So it was like, you want me to leave my house to come and sit in an office all day, or like, sorry, not an office, a meeting room all day, and then go back home when I could have done this sans commute all at home in the same fashion.
Yeah, I think the company's biggest push for, people coming back into the office is for, again, you said it, collaboration. Again, getting things done faster, decision-making, creativity. Again, a lot of companies, they work from the bottom up, in my opinion, where those people at the bottom on the ground,
for sure,
those ideas are coming from them and they're collaborating, pushing things up, getting approved, and they're doing what they need to do to kind of get it rolled out.
Yeah, that was the point I was going to make about when you said, what am I providing in the office? I'm enabling more collaboration, right? I'm an extrovert. Well, I'm more of an ambivert now. I like my little introverted phase.
You are
an
extrovert, boy.
I'm everything. I'm a hybrid. I'm an all. Like being in consulting, I had 1 year before COVID. I was still in consulting, but I was remote because it was an internal client. It was EY was the client. And so we never interacted outside of the pings and meetings. We didn't go to lunch together. We didn't go out for drinks together. We didn't get to know each other as well because we didn't have those offline conversations. So like the camaraderie and the connection was completely different for a client that was remote versus a client when I was in person. Right. I could have that more impactful like interaction in person than I can on a Teams meeting every day.
Building relationships.
Yep,
it's hard to build relationships over the computer. Some can do it.
Very.
Some of us, in the world, were able to excel during COVID. A lot of people failed.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's hard. If you don't have that one it factor, which I love to call charisma, that people really Riz. That people, it's hard to naturally get it. And so if you can't really emote through like your expressions, you have the right like timing on sayings, it is very hard to create that type of connection. And it's hard to know when it's safe. I feel like in person, you can tell when like work is fading and the personal is building, where over the laptop it is very hard because there's no like, to your point, we're going to happy hour, which now means we can talk about work as our connection point, but we don't have to stay here. Versus, 3:00 call, it's like, all right, cool. But I got another call at 3:30. Can we please get to what we're trying to
You're
get to?
about business on the call.
Yeah.
About how's your wife and kids and how many kids you got? No, you have those conversations.
So my last question on this one for you guys. So which one would you prefer? Staying remote at your current pay.
Okay.
Or go back in the office for a little bit more pay? Because it won't be double.
So not even hybrid. Just remote or in office?
Yeah, let's go either way. Let's just strings. Okay.
I'm going in office. Honestly, having lived both, I'm going in office.
I'm a whole remote. Keep me home.
Yeah, I'm all for being in the office.
And I say that too, like having to go drop my son off at Six Flags this morning, right? And coming here, is having that flexibility at home. That control over my time and my space is big.
That's why it's money involved. You're giving up your flexibility, time, and space. That's another reason why you gotta pay.
But you don't get hired for you don't get hired for that. You get hired for you get hired for that stuff.
That's true. So I'm thinking if you're already in that role, but you're saying getting hired for it. They're hiring you as a in-office employee versus hiring you as a remote. Ask you to go.
And I had to go watch the last episode, but you were talking about the tech startup. So going back to having your India team. You had the India team. I'm pretty sure you must have them be remote but better,
Yeah.
So
I would pick if I'm getting double.
No, he said a little more. A little bit more.
Oh, I'm staying remote. Not for no little bit. I could go make that little bit with the extra amount of time I got at home when I'm not working on work. The flexibility. I can work on my businesses when I'm offline from work doing business hours, right? I take my lunch 12 to 1 every day. Everybody take lunch at my job. I go work on face-to-face. So I can't do that if I'm in the office. I got to go to another office room, a little hybrid, or a little workspace and go do that. No, I can do that.
So that's another thing too, though. So you're talking about that 1 hour, but realistically, a lot of people out here, what do you call it, job stacking?
Yeah.
Have we ever covered that?
We haven't covered job stacking.
We haven't.
So that was a real big thing during
Very
COVID.
big.
So,
I actually met a girl who was like, we were out somewhere. She had 2 computers. And I was like, what you got going on? She said, I got 3 jobs, but 2 of them are on right now. And I was like, I have never seen this in person. And it was a wonder. Like she was literally on a call for one, acting like she was looking at a screen that she was referencing for the call. Or she'd be like, my camera's over here, so I'm looking at you guys. Sorry. She'd be like, I can't. And she would be working. I was like, yo, this is mastery.
A lot of my friends were job stacking during COVID, still to this day. They're still job stacking. So it's a big thing. So again, they making maybe not double their salary, but they making a lot more with those 2 jobs.
About 30% of
40% more by working remote. So you have 2 jobs, 3 jobs. We know plenty of people that had 3 jobs at one point. So I was scared to do it. I was so scared. I was like, they're gonna catch me and I'm gonna get fired and they gonna get hired.
I wasn't concerned about getting caught. I was concerned about just my mental capacity. Like my full time was enough. Like you want me to do more on top of this? Are you crazy?
Yeah. So now you're not even, again, it's not going from a 9 to 5 to a 5 to 9. You're doing 2 9 to 5s. At the same time. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Way too much. All right. What's your answer?
For what's the question?
Your question.
You get a little bit more to go in the office or stay remote.
Remote.
I'm staying home.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm staying home.
He been home, so he ain't even. We should even ask him.
But see, that's why I'm confused by his first answer of, I'll just go in the office as is.
Right.
So technically, if you get paid a little more.
But I said I could, though. But I said, I'd rather just stay at home, though.
But you just said earlier.
No. But if you gave me a choice, though. No,
it wasn't a choice.
It was, though.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't a choice.
Okay. But again,
my example wasn't a choice. It was, you got to go in the office. That's why I'm requesting more. It wasn't no remote or office.
And you said you would take the same amount of pay. There was no alternative.
Yeah.
If I had to, I would. But if it's my choice, I would stay in the home.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you had to, you would. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you had to, you would and not request any more money.
Correct.
That's the point.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
Nah.
See, I feel like, though, after 5 years, that's a whole different shaping of my work. Now, I would go back, but I would definitely say, hey, something has to give. It might not be money. That's why earlier I said maybe it's not money. For me, it would be then I get to determine my hours. Because now you can't tell me I have to be in at 8. If now I have to not only drop my daughter off, but I also have this commute. Her school doesn't start till a certain time. I was able to start at 8 because I could be back home, have my coffee, have breakfast at that time. Yeah. And then on the latter end, now I've financially, because after school costs money, whatever care or having somebody else to pick her up costs money. Also on that other end, it took me 5 minutes to go get her. Now I have to battle Atlanta traffic. So now my hours also need to change. Yeah. So that would be my biggest give is like,
I like that.
Then my hours still need to be flexible based on my natural routine, not what time you need me there, not whatever. And when I get there, that's when laptop opens too. So don't have me driving and being in danger trying to Slack or email or get on. No. When I get in the office, that's when it starts. Yeah. And when I leave, that's when it stops. That would be my hard, like, hey, if we're going to do this, then I'm no longer as flexible either.
Yeah. And I think they have to accept the fact that the productivity you put up for the last X amount of years will not be the same.
It can't be.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
It can't be. Yeah. And like, if you want me to be, especially at that role, right, the leader, the collaborator, then I can promise you when decisions come to me, I will make, or questions that come to me, I'll make the decisions live. I can collaborate. I can be in the room and people can move faster. But some of those admin tasks, oh, baby, you got to know that those are getting put to the side unless you get me an EA.
Yeah. So one thing I have an issue with my remote status, I've been remote since 2019, is I feel like I'm always on. Like I feel like I always am available, right? For my job to reach out, ping me, email me, and I got to respond immediately. Like I just mentally think that I got to always be available because I'm remote and I have the flexibility of being online. I can get on at 9. I can go take a 2-hour lunch. I can come back. I can work till 7. So people see I'm working at 7 p.m. and they're like, oh, he's always working at 7. Let me ping him at 7:30. So, like I don't like feeling like I'm always on. And I feel like I'm getting burnt out, like a digital burnout, they call it, right? Because I'm always on the screen. Even when I get off of work, I'm watching the screen or on my phone. There's just a lot of devices I'm always on.
Is that because of work, because of who you are?
Both.
You've always been a tech guy.
Right, both.
Like, honestly, even when people are still writing out papers, they pull out at the weddings, he pull out his whole phone and reads.
I did. I wrote my vows.
Yes, he was the first person I saw do that. Like, literally just because he mentioned it to his speech. So, I think it is a way you can shut down every single day, though. And also, too, set your boundaries at work, too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, like go offline, get off Slack, get off of Microsoft Teams, whatever you're using. Like go stop.
I had trouble with that. So with my current role at the beginning, I was so used to always being online and consulting. I used to travel vacation with my work laptop. And I said, hey, they was like, hey, you can't take your laptop out the country, my new job. And I was like, why? And it was like, why would you? And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I don't need to work when I'm on vacation. They're like, yes, enjoy your vacation, bro. That was a whole different, I didn't even think about it like that. Wow. I just automatically was like, why can't I take my laptop on vacation? I need to be working.
Listen, you're right.
Like, no,
I'm going out of town this weekend. And I'm like, well, got to bring the laptop.
But you own your own business. That's different.
But still, I should still, in theory, right? Like, because I've been doing a lot of reading on leadership versus management in this new space. And it is important for me to take time off so that way people on the team feel comfortable that when they take time off, I will honor their time off.
I do that. So he said it on a few episodes, 10 episodes ago.
Hey, we can say that.
Like, take some time to disconnect in the morning, go for a walk, get some sun. I do that. Like, I have a digital, I don't want to call it detox, but I don't have any devices. Like, I'll sit on my balcony, just sit in the sun, watch nature, literally, and don't have a device. And I'll set a timer on a device just to be sure, I get back on it. But I need at least 10 minutes a day of nothing. It's so helpful.
They say doing a boring cleanse or whatever they're calling it now, where it's start with 15 minutes and just set a timer and just sit, whether it's outside or in your home, but no devices, no noise, just sit with whatever is naturally around you so you can actually reset your system before you approach it. So I did that. I left, which is so crazy. When I thought about it, I was like, maybe I shouldn't leave my phone. But I left my phone at the house because I didn't want to be tempted. And I just went on a walk. Around my neighborhood, I did, up the block and turned back around. So I didn't even know what time it was because I also didn't put on my Apple Watch stupidly. But it's those types of things where it's literally touch grass. Turn it off.
We used to have a set meditation daily. During COVID, everybody's working too much, doing too many meetings. And it was a 3:15 meditation. And I finally tried after 2 years. And I sat there and I got her. She said, lay on the floor somewhere. I was asleep.
Oh, I bet.
She put me to sleep. Thank you. I know.
I love meditating.
But yeah, you need those breaks from everything, the screens, and it's in our phones and our hands and everything. So
daily breaks. Take daily breaks from screens.
Yes. And at least I will say that working from home, fully, it is important to remember that because you can also, when you're actually somebody who fully works from home, you can get really caught up and look up and it's been 4 hours and you haven't even taken and you moved your legs. You haven't even moved. And so it is important because that actually does regenerate your willingness to work. Because normally after you've done that for 4 hours, now you're tapped for the rest of the day.
So on the last topic, what do we feel the future of work is going to look like? Because we're seeing a lot more companies do return to office. Like I said, 5 days a week, 3 days a week, no more remote positions available or being offered. If you are remote, you got to come in the office. So that's right now. What do we think the next few years
I think it's just going to revert back.
I
don't.
Everybody's going to be no remote at all.
Or not no remote at all. I think some companies who have either figured it out or maybe... I think smaller companies might be okay with, well, actually, no, they might not be okay with remote because the only reason why I was shocked at the mass, come back is the opportunity to, evade the cost of a workspace, which is so expensive on a company. And so I was a little shocked at how many companies are yes, come back to work and what that actually does mean as an added expense to a company. But I just think everybody's going to go back. I don't know that over this amount of time anybody's perfected it enough to keep it that way, where they'll just start regionalizing work like they used to, where it'll be, okay, all the engineers are here or anybody who's connected to product is here. I do think it'll decrease globalization as we knew it over the last few months, meaning where you might have, again, that great example of if you have a product team, you only have them in 2 offices around the globe. It's not we have a team in New York and a team in LA and a team in Amsterdam. It's going to be Amsterdam or Texas, and that's it. And it's going to be in those most cost-effective places if they're global, and that's going to be it. I don't think there will be really a lot of opportunity to do things like that anymore. You're going to also have to relocate.
And it's I would say it's interesting. I agree with you. I think it's going to revert back. But the next Gen Z, they don't want to go in the office. So how do you force the next generation of employees to come in the office?
Be poor or not? I do feel like there's an unrealistic because of the digital kind of space that they naturally enter the workforce into. So I understand that thought. But I don't think because they haven't gone in the office and maybe they haven't experienced their first kind of experience like that, there's a lot of power. Gen Z as a whole would have to say no.
Come together.
Right, as a full generation.
Years or 6 years on campus, they're going to say they want to go in the office every single day, with the class every single day. Well, some 4 days a week, I know. 3 days a week, I know. But it's again to our point, be poor. So,
I mean,
and again, like, I think even with Gen Y, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, there's going to be an issue of growth. Like, they think they know everything, but you have to come in and learn and grow around other people. And you won't get that being at home. You just won't.
It's not
those social skills are important.
Right. And that point, you're saying, like, companies are spending this money on office spaces. That's fine because now they can help train and grow and cultivate their people the way they want to. And that's the biggest. They'd rather have that cost.
Yeah.
To y'all's point, I've seen companies say, come to the office or lose your job and we'll replace you with AI. Like, so there's a replacement right there ready to go. Even if you don't want to come in the office, they'll find a way. So, unfortunately, it looks like that's the way we're heading is back in the office.
And companies are still hiring too. So again, those people that are retiring, because again, we still forget that these boomers are retiring at an alarming rate.
Well, and as a reference point too for everybody, the reason why they called them boomers, if you don't know, is because there was a boom in kids for that generation. So with that, also that just surge in retirement, it does leave a really big hole that I'm thankful is finally here. Because I also do feel like, you know, what did they say? Like the last... like 12, it's something, I don't want to get to lying, but like the last 20 years or something of presidents we've had have all been boomers. Like we haven't had anything that's not a boomer. And I would imagine that also then transfers over to the executive landscape. So I'm actually really excited for this group to retire just to see what happens when we do have a new generation starting to run things. And I do also feel a little bit why that's some of the people holding on to Trump and being so Trump-esque, because that will be likely the last boomer president we have.
True. So what are our takeaways? Any final thoughts?
Staying at home helps you own your time, your space, your mental. That's what I took away from the day.
Yeah. But I'd also challenge that to say, who knows how much better you might be able to be at your job going into the office. Like, for real, you know? For people who started their jobs, most of them started it in the pandemic. Most people don't know what it would be like. So also, like, just to get people excited so it doesn't feel like this doom and gloom, I'm always like, but yeah, that one coworker that you actually enjoyed, like, when you could make the digital connection, imagine now what it's going to be like when you're actually in office, or how it'll be to be with your team when you hit these major milestones and you guys can actually experience it together versus closing your laptop and now you got to tell your partner who's like, what do you do again for work? I don't even know what this means. You know what I mean? Like, it can be exciting. Or the people who've been itching to get promotions. I think we also neglected to point out how much being in front of people helps you get a promotion, helps you get that FaceTime that you don't get. Now you're waiting to get in a meeting with the director versus now you can actually be in line behind them at lunch, or you can enter the drive. You know, like there are a lot of big things that do come as a positive trade-off to, sure, you have to commute, but now you might actually see some more career advancement. You might actually like your job for the first time too.
That happened to me. I'm going to do it real quick. That happened to me when I went in the office for my once a quarter required office badge in. I met the SVP that I'm under, who I've never met in the 3 years that I've been there. And I had the opportunity because he was at the office. I was like walking around and I was like, let me go introduce myself. I haven't met this man in person. Hit it off. He's like, I'm trying to retire to North Carolina. I'm going to put you on speed dial. My boss's boss heard that. She was like, yo, what you say to him? Like, so that I would have never had that interaction on Teams. Never, ever, ever, ever would have got that opportunity to talk to him like we talk, chop it up.
Because you likely don't even have one-on-one on
I don't have,
you know what I mean?
Not with him.
And I'm going to challenge you now, because even when you took this new role and he was fully remote, I said you should probably go in at least once a month to show face.
He did.
So I'm glad you did that and got that exposure.
But that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where just to hopefully end this on a like more positive, like don't moan and groan. Be a little more. Remember our story of maybe from the last episode. It might be good. It might be bad. Just go see.
Let's try.
Yeah, whatever the opportunity, whatever is remote or hybrid, get paid, young. Get paid.
Right. That is, though, the motto.
I'm going to leave y'all with that.
For sure.
Double up.
Double
All
up.
right, y'all. So we'll see y'all next week.
All right, y'all.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Peace.